Hey, so it's been a few days since we were last out here. As you can see, all the weeds are pretty much gone. Took down the trestles at the end, cleaned all that up. And then I started to plant the tomatoes and peppers. I got some big boy tomatoes, or better boy, and some cherry tomatoes. And these are from Bonnie Plants. These are locally grown plants. I go by their greenhouses every once in a while. This is a Husky Cherry Red. It's a hybrid cherry tomato. Oh, nice bumblebee here. So that brings me to a point. See this bumblebee? I don't know if you can see it, but he's bouncing around on these plants right here. This is why I leave these kind of stuff. These aren't weeds, they're flowers. And flowers have bees. And the tomato plants have flowers on them. So you can see right here. Let me show you. See those yellow flowers in there? So the bees need to get to those, spread the pollen, and do their thing so I can get tomatoes to grow. That's why you have these outside and not inside. You need the bees. So what I've gone and done, I got my post hole digger. I use that and dig my holes. So I brush the straw out and away, dig the holes, put the dirt in the bucket, and now I'm ready to put the plants in. I got my stakes in the background there, and I got my wire baskets just within arm's reach. I have my ruler, 3 feet, not 6 feet, no. We can be inside 6 feet for plants, anyway. Alright, so from that hole to that hole, there's a hole forward that you can't see, and then there's this hole here that you can't see, that I've dug already. And then the next one, it's like on center. They don't have to be exactly 36 inches. You can do what you want, but more or less you want to give them distance. So what I do is from the center line, I kind of staggered them, one over here, one over here, one on the side, one on the side. So when I walk down, I can snake in between them rather than have them at every distance. Then it's kind of hard to walk through, especially when they're big mature plants and you're trying to harvest your fruit, and you don't want to be bending and breaking all the branches off when you're walking through like a bull in a china shop. So it's finally a nice day out. I had all the plants situated and sitting in there in the pots. I ended up having to take them out because it was 32, 33 degrees out. But the weather looks good from here on out, so I think we're safe. I thought I was safe last time, but I didn't put anything in the ground. I just set the pots in there. So with that said, I think I want to put the cherry tomatoes over here. And I'm just going to show you what I do on one of the plants, from digging the hole to finishing. So you can see the hole here. Let me throw my gloves on. Got the bumblebee bumbling around. Alright, so that's a cherry. So the first thing you want to do is read the directions. If you're new to planting, or if you've been doing it for a while, it's always good to read, because you never know when something new might come out, or a new way of doing something, and if you don't read, you're not going to know. So, planting depth. Bury 2/3 of the plants 36 inches apart, fullest time 6 to plus hours. Use Miracle-Gro soil and plant food for your best harvest yet. They have a little ad on there. And again, from Bonnie Plants. So, set it in there, and you notice there's a lot of room. This is smaller than that. So when they say 2/3, they want you to have this up in the air. What I do is get my soil, and I'm taking it out of the bag. This is an empty bag, and you can see it's garden soil for in-ground use. Miracle-Gro. Make sure it says in-ground if you're putting it in the ground. Alright, and that's what it looks like. So all I'm going to do is put some on the bottom. And this isn't really wet enough to build up the sides, but I'm going to have room. Take my 2 fingers and go between the plant. Okay. Turn it upside down. There you go, there's all your roots. And pretty much just set it in there. Scoop your dirt in around. So I just kind of pressed it from the up a little bit, down level. You don't want to compact too much. And then put the soil around it. Next thing you want to do is water it. Let it soak down in there. Try and get it on both sides. And if the dirt goes down, just put some more in there. Alright. Next thing I want to do is put a stake in. So even though this is a cherry tomato plant, it's not going to get that huge, but you're better off having one. If you don't use it, you don't use it, but if you need it, you want it to be there. So when I poured the water, there was a little spot there. So you don't want to go down in the center or anything. You want to go out on the side, and all you want to do is just push that down in there. That's good enough. It's pretty tall. Alright, now the next thing, put my little sign of what it is in there, in case I forget. And then I'm going to take the straw and put it back around over the dirt. So that's going to keep any weeds from growing, and it's going to keep the ground from drying out, so I don't have to water it a ton, and just naturally let them grow without having to water them too much. Okay, next thing, is a wire basket. So we're pretty much done looking at the ground. Let me bring that up to view. So we got the stake in there. I'm going to take the wire basket. It's a 4-point basket. And I'm just going to put that over. And let me show you this part. Get back on the bottom. Alright, so you're just going to center over the plant, not the stake. And you're just going to push down. I use my forearms over here on the ring, and then my hands just kind of go down until I hit something. Alright. Kind of tap it. Might have hit a rock or something. Rotate it a little bit. Try it again. Alright, so that went down a little deeper. And we'll go with that. Plants in the ground. Got some good earth and fertilizer. Covered it back up. Watered it. Put a stake in. Put the basket in. As these grow up, then I'll lift the branches out over the basket as it comes all the way up. And we'll also have a stake to tie the main stalk to keep it from falling over in the wind. Get a lot of wind coming up through here across the lawn. It's good circulation, but you don't want it to blow your plants over, so we'll be able to tie them and have that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them. And it's the same thing with pepper plants. I got some jalapeno pepper plants here, 6 of them. Process is the same. I just have a shorter stake. And yes, I put a stake in there because some of the pepper plants grow pretty high, and then the fruit comes out and kind of wants to lead the plant one way or the other, and the wind. So if it wasn't windy, you could probably not have to use them, but it's better to have them there before you need them, because when you try and put a stake in a basket when your plant's already this high, you end up damaging it. It's very hard to set up once you've done that. So I learned to do this right away, and then just let the plant grow, and you don't have to worry about it for a while until it gets up over this first ring. You want to make sure it doesn't grow out this way. You want it to grow up the middle. And then the pepper plants, I have a smaller stake and a smaller basket. And you'll probably see that throughout the year. So I'm going to get to work here, finish those, all of them, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alright, we're all done. Get a little rest here. Nice and sunny out. Supposed to get up to 70, 75 today maybe, but I'll enjoy this. So, got 12 plants, 4 Better Boy, 2 cherry tomatoes, and 6 or so jalapenos. Some of the slots had double plants in them. There's 1, 2, 2 of them had doubles, so I actually have 8 plants on the peppers. That's about it. I'll probably plant some more stuff. I have more room. Thinking maybe some pumpkins or melons towards the road part there. Maybe some squash. Might do squash. But I did freeze a bunch of squash, so really not going to use it. I'm not sure if I want to have squash. Maybe pumpkins, I can use those instead of buying them. Not sure. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm happy with the tomato plants I have and the peppers. Like I said, my freezer still got a lot of food in it, so probably really don't need it this year. But just in case that we don't have food from all over the world throughout the year, which is pretty much why we don't really need to farm yourself anymore, because it's always summer somewhere and the food is produced and shipped out. But now it's on to my next project. We're going to get back over to the raspberries. I'm going to plant some raspberries, transplant a hosta, and I'm also going to build a, what do you want to call it? A protective box around the strawberries so the birds and chipmunks don't eat my strawberries. So that'll be the next, but I'm going to take a little break and then we'll get started with that.